410 AD. The gates of Rome are breaking. 80,000 Visigoths are pouring through the walls. The eternal city, the greatest empire on earth, is falling. But what if Rome had one thing the Visigoths never expected? Imagine this. It's the height of the Roman Empire. Around 100 AD, Rome controls everything from Britain to Egypt, from Spain to Mesopotamia. 6.5 million square kilometers of pure Roman power. The population? Over 70 million people under one flag, one eagle, one empire. But enemies are always at the border. Germanic tribes, Parthian cavalry, Visigoth warbands, each one waiting for Rome to slip, each one hungry for Roman gold. And slowly, over centuries, they keep chipping away, raid by raid, battle by battle. Now here's the scenario. What if Rome, at its peak, had access to modern defensive technology? Not just swords and shields, not just catapults and legions. What if Rome had real modern defenses, the kind that can stop an army before they even see the city? Could Rome have survived? Could it have lasted forever? That's the question today. First, let's understand what Rome was actually up against. The Visigoths weren't just a mob. People forget that. They were a disciplined, battle-hardened Germanic people who had been fighting Rome for over a century. They knew Roman tactics. They had fought alongside Roman legions as mercenaries. They understood how Rome moved, how Rome thought. Their leader in 410 AD was Alaric, a man who had actually served in the Roman army. He knew every weakness in Roman defense. He had besieged Rome twice before, in 408 and 409, and each time he left with massive ransoms: gold, silver, silk, pepper. He was patient, calculated, ruthless, and his army? 80,000 fighters, tall, heavy, used to brutal northern winters that would break most men. They carried heavy axes, long swords, and wooden shields reinforced with iron. Some rode horses, some were archers. Many wore basic iron armor captured from Roman soldiers they had already killed. Rome's walls, the Aurellan Walls, were 19 kilometers long, 3.5 meters thick, 8 meters high, with 383 towers, built to stop exactly this kind of threat. And for over 100 years, they worked. No one broke through them, but walls can only do so much. The real weakness of Rome wasn't the stone. It was the people inside. Corrupt politicians, divided leadership, soldiers who hadn't been paid in months, civilians who were starving. Rome was rotting from the inside, and Alaric knew it. Here's what you might not know, though. Even a weakened Rome, even a Rome on the edge of collapse, still had something: a spirit, a stubbornness, a belief that the city could not fall. Citizens who had never seen an enemy inside their walls. Soldiers who still believed in the eagle. What would happen if that spirit, that Roman defiance, had the tools to actually back it up? Let's talk about what modern defense actually means. We're not talking about nuclear weapons. We're not talking about fighter jets. We're talking about the kind of ground-based defensive systems that militaries use today to protect cities, borders, and critical locations. Start with the Phalanx CIWS, close-in weapon system. This thing is a 20mm rotary cannon that fires 4,500 rounds per minute. That's 75 rounds every single second. It was designed to shoot down incoming missiles and aircraft. But against infantry, against soldiers on foot, it would be like pointing a hurricane at a candle. Its effective range is 1.5 kilometers. It tracks targets automatically using radar. It reacts faster than any human could ever aim. One Phalanx unit weighs about 6,200 kilograms. Rome's walls could hold dozens of them, and against 80,000 Visigoths charging on foot with wooden shields, the math is not close. But let's go further. The M270 Multiple Launch Rocket System, MLRS. This fires 12 rockets in under 60 seconds. Each rocket carries 644 submunitions, small explosive bomblets that scatter over an area of 33 hectares per volley. 33 hectares. That's larger than 60 football fields, covered in explosions from a single launch. Range? 32 kilometers. Alaric's army would never even get close enough to see Rome's walls before the sky started falling on them. Now add the modern motion sensors, acoustic detectors, thermal imaging. Rome's sentinels could see every movement in total darkness, every formation, every approach route. There would be no surprise, no sneaking through the gates at night, no bribed guard opening a hidden door. Everything visible. And then the Claymore mine. A single M18A1 Claymore sends 700 steel balls in a 60-degree arc at 1,200 meters per second. One mine, 700 projectiles, instantly. Plant 500 of them around Rome's perimeter, triggered remotely or by tripwire. Alaric's army would walk into a field they thought was empty, and it would erupt. The power gap between an 80,000-man warband with iron swords and a city defended by even basic modern systems is not a gap. It's a canyon. It's a different universe. A Roman legionnaires' pilum, their throwing spear, warrior, had a range of about 30 meters. The MLRS fires at 32,000 meters. That's over 1,000 times further. A Roman shield could stop an arrow. It cannot stop a 20-millimeter tungsten round, traveling at 1,000 meters per second. There is no comparison. There is only one outcome. Now, let's put it together. It's late August, 410 AD, but this time, Rome is ready. Alaric's scouts move forward first, small groups, probing the roads south of the city, testing the silence, looking for weakness. They've done this before. They know how Roman defenses work. Slow, reactive, human. But tonight, something is different. The sensors pick them up 4 kilometers out. Thermal signatures, dozens of them, moving in formation through the tree line. Inside Rome's command post, a small team of operators watches the screens. No one panics. No one shouts. One operator speaks quietly. They're moving toward the Via Appia approach. Alaric doesn't know it yet, but he just walked into the most documented ambush in history. The first line of claymores detonates at 800 meters. The explosion is instant, blinding. The sound rolls across the hills like thunder, but sharper. Wrong. The scouts in front don't fall, they vanish. The soldiers behind them freeze. They have never heard anything like this. Not in 1,000 battles. Not in a lifetime of war. Horses rear and bolt. Men drop their weapons. Some run, some fall to their knees. The bravest ones hold formation, shields up, eyes wide, searching for an enemy they cannot see. There is no enemy, just fire and sound and death from nowhere. Alaric rides forward to calm his men. He is not afraid. He has survived Roman arrows, Roman cavalry, Roman treachery. He has besieged this city twice. He rode out both times richer than he arrived. He raises his sword and shouts for his men to advance. And that's when the Phalanx opens up. The sound is unlike anything in human history. It's not a battle cry. It's not a war drum. It's a mechanical scream, continuous, like the earth itself is tearing open. 4,500 rounds per minute, shredding through the approaching formation. Shields, the same wooden shields that had stopped Roman arrows for 100 years, disintegrate. Iron armor, the pride of veteran warriors, means nothing, less than nothing. The front line collapses in seconds. The second line tries to fall back, and the MLRS launches. 12 rockets climb into the late summer sky. For a moment, just a moment, they almost look beautiful, like falling stars in reverse, rising, arcing, then turning back down toward the earth. Each one carries 644 submunitions. They scatter over 33 hectares of hillside, where Alaric's main force is regrouping. The detonations are not individual. They blend together into one continuous roar that lasts almost 8 seconds. 8 seconds of fire, covering an area larger than 60 football fields. When the smoke clears, the hillside is unrecognizable. But here's the moment no one expected. Through the smoke, a single figure on horseback, Alaric, still riding, still upright. His horse is wounded. His armor is scorched, but he's still there, still moving forward, alone now. Almost all of his men are gone. He can't see them anymore through the smoke and fire, but he keeps riding toward Rome, not because he thinks he can win, because he doesn't know how to stop. He gets within 500 meters of the Aurellan Walls, and then he stops, not because of a weapon, not because of another explosion. He stops because he sees the walls up close, and for the first time, he sees something different on top of them. Not Roman soldiers with javelins, not archers with composite bows, strange machines, strange shapes, things with no name in any language he knows. He sits on his wounded horse in the silence after the battle. Behind him, where his army was, there is only smoke. 80,000 men gone in less than 20 minutes. He thinks about the decades he spent fighting Rome, the campaigns, the betrayals, the treaties that were broken, the pay that was never delivered. He had served Rome faithfully once. He had asked for land, for recognition, for his people to have a home inside the empire they had fought to protect. Rome had said no, again and again, no. So he had come back. And now this. He doesn't charge. He doesn't shout. He just turns his horse slowly and rides back into the smoke. That moment, a great warrior, alone, turning away from an unconquerable city, is the most human moment in this entire story. Because Alaric wasn't a monster. He was a man who wanted something simple, a place for his people, recognition for his service. And Rome, even the Rome of 410 AD, couldn't give him that. Modern weapons would have stopped his army. They wouldn't have answered his question. Some things can't be solved with firepower. So would Rome fall if they had modern defenses? No, not even close. 80,000 Visigoths with iron weapons would last less than 30 minutes against even a basic modern defensive setup. The Phalanx alone could theoretically fire over 2 million rounds before needing maintenance. The MLRS could cover the entire battlefield before a single soldier reached the walls. The sensors, the mines, the automated systems, Rome would have been unconquerable. Here's the surprising fact, though. The Phalanx CIWS was never designed to fight people. It was built to shoot down supersonic anti-ship missiles, targets moving moving at Mach 2. Alaric's cavalry charged at maybe 40 kilometers per hour. To the Phalanx radar, that's basically standing still. Rome wouldn't have needed its legions at all. But here's the thought that stays with you. Rome didn't fall because of Alaric. Rome fell because of what it had become inside. The weapons could have held the walls, but no weapon can hold an empire together when it's already decided to collapse, when the leadership is corrupt, when the people are divided, when trust is gone. The walls of Rome were never the problem. The empire was.